Hello, dear students. Good afternoon to all of you. Today, I am going to discuss about the cadastre, the land information system, and the users of information system. So, cadastral mapping and land information system both are, you can say, both are complementary to each other. First, we will discuss about the cadastre. What is cadastre? What are the requirements for cadastral mapping, and how it will be useful for land information system. Then we will see who are the users of this land information system. So cadastre, in simple word, it's a technical term for a set of records that include the extent, value, and ownership of land. In land information system, we generally deals with the land-related information. We generally deals with the available land in an area. It may be a rural area, it may be urban area. So cadastral mapping or cadastre is a technical term for a set of records. It includes all the records like the extent of the area, what is the value of the area as per the market rate, and who is the owner and who has the ownership, or you can say who has the legal authority of that land. So in broad context, when we talk about the cadastre, it's a description of the legal as well as the fiscal interest of a land. If there is a land parcel, so who is the legal owner of that land parcel, and what is the fiscal interest of that land? In typical context, the cadastre includes all the ownership records, means who is the owner of that land in the present time, and initially who was the owner of that land parcel. So it may be said that the cadastral mapping includes the entire ownership record, that is starting from the first owner then the current owner of that land parcel. Okay, so what is legal cadastre? Legal cadastre is a parcel-based description. It's a parcel-based description of the interests or rights in the real property. Typically, it is supported by the title or deeds and the registry of that land. Legal cadastre defines the property rights. It's generally used as a conjunction with the formal and case laws. It describes the extent. Extent may be sometimes spatial, sometimes temporal, sometimes both spatial and temporal. So, legal cadastre describes the spatio-temporal extent of the property rights of any land parcel. Legal cadastre also supports the transfer of the land among different owners. Okay, and now fourth property of legal cadastre is that it provides the evidence of the ownership. Means it provides you the details, information about the current owner. It provides you the evidence and documents, legal documents of the current owner of the land parcel. Generally, it is using land as a collateral. So the program administration, like enforcement of the laws, targeting of the incentives. Legal cadastre may also be used for the public land management. So you can see here the legal cadastre having different aspects. It defines the property of the rights, it describes the extent, it may be spatial and temporal scale, then it may be used for identifying the land transfer records, it provides the evidence of the ownership, it provides the program administration. Okay, in the next slide, now second term which is very important for cadastral mapping is the fiscal cadastre. So fiscal cadastre is the valuation of the property. It's a kind of, you can say it's a market rate or the cost of the land parcel in the current scenario of, or you can say as per the current market rate. Fiscal cadastre includes the property valuation and the land taxation, means how much tax are there and what is the property, what is the valuation of the land is under the fiscal cadastre. Fiscal cadastre also provides us the information for the property taxation. On the basis of fiscal cadastre, we can define the tax rate, we can define the upcoming taxation of that land parcel. Fiscal cadastre also useful for the distribution of the funds from public programs. It may be also used to monitor and support the market of the land. Means what is the rate of that land parcel in the market and what is the expected market rate of the land in the upcoming future. It also provides us the information for the growth management and land use planning. Fiscal cadastre and legal cadastre. Both are two important components of cadastre, or you can see the cadastral mapping. Now, in simple term, when we are talking about the cadastral mapping, so the definition of cadastre is very simple. A cadastre is a complete and up-to-date official record or inventory of the land parcels or any available land in the area in any state or any jurisdiction that contains the information about the parcel regarding their ownership, regarding their valuation, regarding their location, area, land use, and any building or structures thereon. In the figure you see here, we have written different numbers: number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So each number is showing a specific parcel, a specific land parcel. So each specific land parcel may have some owner. So who is the owner of the land parcel? What is the extent of that land? Okay, and what is the area? What is the land use of that land? The entire information is stored under the cadastre map, or you can say under the cadastre system. So it is saved in the form of digital data. All the cadastral information will be saved in the form of digital information, and it includes the entire information of each land parcel regarding its ownership, its valuation as per the market rate, its location in terms of latitude and longitude, its area in square kilometer or hectare. Land use means whether it is industry, whether it is for industrial use, whether it is for commercial use, whether it is for any other purpose, and if there is a building which is already constructed on that land parcel, then it also included in the cadastre. So cadastre include the entire information. It is not only having the land parcel related information, it includes the entire information about that land parcel. So these are different multi-purpose cadastre that is used in land information system. So the multi-purpose cadastre uses the geographical information system to access and process the data throughout the public and private organizations. So here you can say multi-purpose cadastre includes the agriculture subsidy, property taxation. It also includes the forest management. It also includes, or it may be used for the Ministry of Justice and land titles, different utilities and amenity services, citizen access portals, okay, municipalities, property management, survey data sharing, and bank mortgage applications. So the cadastre having multi-purpose. Each cadastral information or each cadastral mapping having multi-purpose. It may be used for different applications. It may be used for different organizations, different departments for different purposes. So cadastre may be multi-purpose and it may be used by different organizations for different purposes. So in this figure, you see here also different land parcels are shown here. The number is given to each land parcel. Each number is unique to a specific land parcel. When we are talking about a particular land parcel, suppose here in an example, we are talking about the parcel number 2. So when we put the parcel number 2, it includes the entire name. It includes the entire information about that parcel, like its street name, what is the street type, okay, what is the locality of that land parcel, what is the latitude longitude of that parcel, okay, and what is the nearest airport, what is the nearest utilities and amenity services, and it also provides you the location and direction of that land parcel. Okay, so it not only include the information about the land parcel but also provides you the information about the nearby area of that land parcel. Okay, now second important term is land information system. Okay, land information system is very much important for managing the land resources, and for this we generally use cadastral maps. So land information system consists of an accurate, current and reliable land record, cadastre and its associated attributes, and it also includes the spatial data sets. Spatial data sets means the location of any specific land surface feature in terms of latitude and longitude, elevation, its coordinates, its reference system that represents the legal boundaries of any land tenure. Okay, here important term is land record. So what is land record? Land record includes the entire information about that land parcel. It includes all the resources. It includes the land use of that land parcel, the environmental impact of that land, the fiscal data, and basically it deals with the legal boundaries of the land tenure. It includes the entire information about that land parcel, including environmental impact also. Okay, so basically the land record is used to define the legal boundaries of different land parcels, because maybe because of the unclear boundaries between two land parcels, there may be dispute, there may be some cases in the court. So to avoid the problem of this disputed boundaries between two land parcels, we can use land record that basically that clearly provides us the legal boundary between two different land parcels. Now, what LIS does? What is the need of LIS? Okay, in what way we can use land information system? So, land information system deals with the legal boundaries of land tenure. It provides all the base layers that is capable of integrating different geographical systems such as GIS and other spatial data management systems. Land information system also provides us to make easy to retrieve, to create, update, store, view, analyze, and publish any land related information. Okay, we can provide the entire information about the land parcel using land information system. Land information system can also be used to create, to retrieve, or it may also be used to update the existing land information, information about any land parcel. So land information system generally based on the geographical information system. It's a part of geographical information system, and it generally deals with the land related data sets or land related information. Okay, so land information system having different components. Here you can see the land information system having different components, like it is having the maps, different kinds of field data sets, different kinds of field measurements. Satellite images may be the part of land information system, different geographical layers, or you can say different geographic information system data sets in the form of different thematic layers. CAD data sets can also be used as land information system, different types of text information, paper documents, surveying data sets, GIS, engineering applications. So you can say here the land information system may have different data sources. It may have different components depending on the application. It may be used for land record management. It can be used for survey information system. It can be used for data automation and maintenance. It can be used for GIS analysis. Land information system can also be used for planning, land evaluation system, for special economic zone, for the development of SEZ, for the public access, for enterprise mapping, and the data deployment. Okay, so for land information system, or you can say for creating land information system, we need data sources. We need data from different sources. We need data from multiple sources in the form of survey data sets, in the form of field data sets, in the form of satellite images. Satellite images may be from different types. It may be optical data sets, it may be microwave data sets, it may be LiDAR data sets, it may be digital elevation model, digital surface model. We can use different thematic layers, different geographical layers like soil data. It may have forest data, it may have water resources, streams, and all the thematic layers of that area. And we may also use text data sets and other paper documents as a data source for land information system. So land information system is a broader term. Land information system is a broad term. It's a kind of, you can say, it's a component, it's an integration of multiple data sources into the single platform that may be used to create a database. Database means land related database. We are talking about the land information system, so all the data sets will be totally based on the land related data sets or land related information. So there are two major components of any land information system. First component is spatial data. Second component is non-spatial data. The spatial data is related to the location or the position of any real world object, any earth surface features, in geographical space or geographical data sets, like when we are talking about a building, when we are talking about a road, so its location will be described, its location will be saved in the term of latitude, longitude, and elevation. So spatial data deals with the location and the position of any object or any earth surface feature in geographical space. Geographical space means we should have a reference system. There are different kinds of reference system: UTM reference system, geographic reference system. Okay, so we may use any kind of reference system as per our requirement. Then we will have the information, we will have the information or location of that object or that real world object, that is known as spatial data. The second component of LIS, that is known as non-spatial data. Non-spatial data describes the spatial data. It means the properties and characteristics of any spatial data is known as non-spatial data. We also call non-spatial data as a attribute data. Okay, suppose if we have a land parcel, if we have a land, if we have a piece of land, okay, so the location of that land is known as spatial data. Means what is the latitude, longitude of that land parcel is its spatial data. But what is the name of that land parcel, who is the owner of that land parcel, what is the size of that land parcel, okay, what is the cost of that land parcel, all this information will be considered as the non-spatial data. It may be also known as the attribute data sets. So we need both spatial data sets and non-spatial data sets to create or to design our land information system. It is very important to know that spatial data sets may be represented in three different features: point, line, and polygon. Okay, point features or point data represents the location of any object, line feature represents any linear feature, okay, and polygon feature represents any closed boundary, any closed area when we are talking about a land parcel. So spatial data and non-spatial data both are very important, both are very useful for creating or for developing our land information system. Now, this is a common structure of a land information system. Land information system may have a distributed information system. It's a kind of distribution of the information. Like we may have the information from different sources, like from atlas, from cadastral data sets, from topographical information, for photogrammetric information, for geodetic information. So the entire information will be integrated into a single platform. Okay, so the land information system is a distributed information system. It may have the different data sources, and all the data sources will be stored in a land information system, will be stored in a database management system that will have the environmental and resource information, that will also have the survey and mapping information, all the network server system, map server or domain that will used to store the entire data set into the map server or the website. Okay, so the land information system will is also required, and you can say it is very much useful to develop the web-based land information system. All the resources for the land information system will be used for web-based land information system. Okay, it may have network server system, it may have map server or domain, it may have the data server. Okay, so this is the common structure of a land information system. So what is the need of the land information system? As we know that population is growing day by day, urbanization is very fast in different parts of the world. Because of the rapid growth of the population and fast urbanization in many countries, we need to have land information system that will have all the updated information about the land resources or available lands in that region. The growing demand for land and inadequate land administration services. As population is growing, so demand for land is also growing. So this growing demand of land will lead to you have the land information system, or there may be the inadequate land administration services. Because of this inadequate land administration services, we need to have a proper or systematic land information system. That there is a lack of reliable land information, because most of the available land information is in the hard copy? Is it in the form of maps, which is old, not updated after over for a long time of period? So there is a lack of reliable land information. Okay, and the diversity of land tenure. Land tenure is a diverse process. So this diversity of land tenure, the low number of formalized land property in the countries. Second, very important is that over the decades there is requirement of land administration sector, but it is neglected in the last few decades. Okay, and there are attempts to keep or update the legacy system from colonial past and need of innovation. So these are some factors that is very much useful, that is used to develop a land information system. The need of land information system may have different factors. But most important is the population growth and the growing demand of the land. So that uh, also requires reliable land information, reliable information about the land parcels, available land, available space in that area. There are several limitations of land information system is also there, because all the data sets stored in the traditional cadastral system do not meet the requirements which is connected with the supervision, management, and decision making, forecasting, and the development planning. So the most significant problems, or you can say the most significant limitations of a land information system includes the low precision of the geometric data, the quality and the speed of data access. There is a lot of difference between the map data and registered data, and there is a lack of supervisory tools. So these are some limitations that leads to the development of the advanced land information system. Now moving to the next slide. So what is GIS and what is land record? So all the related information, or you can say the relating to the land description of the property to coordinate based systems. It highlight and then minimize the ambiguous or overlapping boundaries. So the complex attribute relations are required for land information system. It should be accessible to the public. The land records should be accessible to the public, so the public can be, yeah, can also access that information for their own use or for different purposes. So GIS and land record. GIS will be very much useful for managing the land records in a proper manner, so that anyone can access the data set. It also avoids the complexities in the attribute relationships. It highlights and then minimize the ambiguous or overlapping boundaries between the land parcels. And it also helps to relate the legal description of the property to coordinate based systems, means latitude, longitude. We will have the information in terms of coordinates, in terms of latitude, longitude, in terms of elevation, in terms of digital surface model, digital records. Now, there are several users of land information system. The most and prime user of land information system is local government or local administration. The local administration or local government uses land information system for tax assessor, real property lister, for zoning administrator, for land use planning. It may also be used for transportation planning and management. Emergency response system also requires the proper land information system, waste management and disposal sites, the selection of disposal sites and waste management, the destination or digitalization of the protected area, the monitoring of the protected area, for updating or for getting information about the parks and open spaces in an area, infrastructure management, and public utilities. So these are some fields, these are some uses of land information system. So local government and local administration or the authority, the government authority requires land information system for the different purposes, including tax, then land use planning, transportation, emergency response system, infrastructure management, and public utilities and amenity services. Second user of land information system is the public. Public, like the normal user, the public interacts with the local information system primarily in the land convenience and land tax assessment. It may also have some involvement in the particular applications. The NGOs and land related business may also be the user of the land information system that may have the development, real estate, banking, title abstraction, and insurance. Development, in the field of development and real estate, we can use land information system. We may also use it for banking sector. We may also use it for title abstraction and insurance, the conservation and environmental protection, community, land use, and economic development. Okay. So users of land information system may be local government, public, and some business and NGOs. The concept of an land use planning using land information system. Land information system may have different data sources. These data sources may be digital topographic maps in the form of DXF, digital cadastral maps, then attributes, zoning map like urban land use planning. Okay, and we can use overlay mapping. We can use different rubber sheeted registered data sets, land boundaries, continuous, based on topographic and rubber sheeted data sets. So we need some data sources, then we create database depending on the data sources, depending on the data available from multiple sources. We use it for different database management system. Then the outputs will be in the form of topographic map, which may be done using overlay analysis. We may have integrated map, land price map, register record, and the zoning map. This is the concept of an land use planning based on the land information system. The concept of an administrative LIS. Administrative LIS may have different components. It may have land policy, it may have civil services, it may have local government, that is for local management system, for provincial government, and land use planning. Under land policy, we may use it for data analysis. We may use it for supporting any land policy. We may use it for land spectacular model. Under civil services, we use it for land use planning confirmation, land price confirmation. Then provincial government land use planning includes the spatial data view, spatial decision support system. The local government and land management system include the spatial data management, the transaction of the lands, okay, the land acquisition laws, different kinds of real estate agents, land appraisal, and land use planning. So this is the worldwide distribution of the land information system. In the world, over the world, we may have different kinds of land information system. Some countries of the world uses French-based land information system. Some countries in the world uses German-based information system. Some countries uses English-based information system, and there may be some Torrens-based land information system. So there are four major types of land information system that is used over the different parts of the world by different countries: French system, German system, English system, and Torrens system. Okay, so this is the worldwide distribution of the land information system used by different countries in the world. So how LIS can be used for local government? So the local government or local administration, local authority are facing many issues and problems that is related to the information handling of the land information. Most of the issues and most of the problems and operations with which a local government are concerned that is related to land or location. Geographic Information System GIS offers a solution to many of these problems because it may handle multiple data sources, it may handle multiple spatial and non-spatial data sources. So the problems which is being faced by local government can be overcome by using GIS based land information system. Local government or local authority can use the land information system for land or tax parcels. They are primarily source of the income for the government. Utility services, including electric power supply, distribution and sewer system, parcel of the land, the individuals, including the voters, for school children or for mass transit users. And LIS can be used by local government for utility services, including schooling, police station, different economic development incentives, the economic activities that are provided by defined the geographic areas. So local government or the local administration of a city or a country use land information system for different purposes. As all we know that All are the spatially distributed information. Entire information of the land related to land is spatially distributed, and out of all the local land information system, around 17 to 80% of the information are location based services. So we need to have some spatially explicit land information system to manage the land information or land record. Okay, so the use of geographical information system in local government may be done in different steps, may be done in different manners. The multi-purpose cadastre is the basic model for geographical information system in local government. It may include the title and fiscal record. It may include the administrative records. It may include the natural resources. It may use the other land records. Then we interlink or we integrate all the records into a single platform. Then we are perform the overlay analysis. That is, you make a call it as a cadastral overlay. Then we can have the base map, including all the information related to title, fiscal, administrative information, natural resource record, and other land parcels. Okay, after integrating all the information, we may use it for different purposes by applying geodetic reference framework. So the end product will be the geographically referenced land information system that will have the entire information of title and fiscal, administrative record, natural resources, and other land related information or land related records. There are several components of cadastral model. Okay, a cadastral model may have a spatial reference framework. It is a kind of network of geodetic control points. In short, we call it as a GCPs that provides the geographic reference for the data in terms of XY coordinates or latitude, longitude. A large-scale base map provides the base by which the cadastral information is related to the geodetic reference framework and to base map features. Third component of cadastral model is a cadastral overlay. Cadastral overlay is used to depict the parcel boundaries. The boundaries between two land parcels can be easily depicted by the cadastral overlay, and it also includes the graphic overlay on the base map. So the linkage mechanism, the association between different land records, different land parcels, provides the linkage or correspondence between the elements of the cadastral overlay, or you can say different land parcels, and to other land related data sets that is based on the unique parcel identifier. And next component of the cadastral model is a land related data or land records. It includes the local government's information concerning the land. Usually it is configured as a variety of applications, that is specific data sets and other overlays of the parcel related data sets. So here you can see the cadastral model that is used for land information system may have different components. It may have a spatial reference system. It should have large scale base map. It should have cadastral overlay, linking mechanism, and land related information. Now moving to the next slide, it is an example of cadastre based land information system. It's a kind of seamless base map that is used, that is prepared by the high resolution satellite images. So, okay, so land information system may have different data sources. It may have the GIS layers, different thematic layers like street data, building data sets, vegetation data sets. Then we integrate all the thematic layers, we integrate all the GIS layers into a single layer, that is an integrated layer that will include all the information related to the street, related to the buildings, related to the vegetation data of that area to produce a complete cadastral information of that area, or you can say the complete land related information or complete land information system of that area. So land information system includes multiple or various data sources, various thematic layers, various GIS layers that can be integrated to create the land information system. Now moving to next slide, we have different kinds of land record systems, land information system that is used by different state governments. The Madhya Pradesh land record system, that is Madhya Pradesh land information system, includes the data sets, includes the land parcel related information. The objective of Madhya Pradesh land record system is to provide a GIS based solution for querying and printing the land records information in the local language. The key benefits of using this land record system is an interactive land record information system with the local language, the functionality for the splitting of the Khasra map, the plot map, linking of the external data with the spatial data, which can be queried and displayed in the map. There may be different users. They are able to take the printouts of each selected Khasra maps or plots along with the details in the local language. It may be English, it may be Hindi, it may be Urdu, or any local language. So land record system provides the information about the plots, about the land parcels in the local language. So this is the web portal. This is the diagram, or this is the link or website showing the Khasra information about in a village of Madhya Pradesh state. It's a kind of, you can say, the web page of the Madhya Pradesh land information system. So Kerala is also having land record system or land information system. Then objective is to automate the land record maintenance from the field measurement, that is books for the benefits of the public, to bring in e-governance into the effect at the grassroots level. The key benefits of Kerala-based land information system or land information system of the Kerala is to automate the digitization process of the generation of maps from the FMB, to generate the maps of the ward by joining the adjoining blocks and thereby produce the cadastral map of the city, the town, okay, or any adjacent village. It also used, it is beneficial to add the holding details. That means who is the owner of that land parcel, how much area is covered by land parcel, and what is the fiscal interest, what is the legal interest of that land parcel, that may be used to create the cadastral map of that area. Another benefit of Kerala Land Information System is to compare a map that is generated by FMB application, that is with the base map provided by the Land Record Department of the Kerala. Then we have to cross-check the accuracy of the existing map with the land record system available on the website. Kanpur Municipal Corporation is also having a land information system. The key benefits, the main advantages of Kanpur Municipal Corporation, the land information system of the Kanpur Municipal Corporation is to project the broadly comprised of the property survey and GIS database creation, the development of a GIS-based website, the updation of the existing municipal property, the tax applications, and its integration with the WebGIS. A web-based property information system for property tax management, the birth and death registration, and grievance, that is redressal registration. So Kanpur Municipal Corporation is using land information system for providing the information, for providing the web-based property information system for the property tax management, for property tax for property tax payment, birth and death registration of the person, citizen of the municipal corporation, or the grievance redressal the registration. So this is the web page of the Kanpur Municipal Corporation showing the land record system or land information system. Here you can see different land parcels may have different numbers. When you click on a particular land parcel or particular uh, block, it will show you the entire information in the form of table, like owner of the land parcel, size of that plot, and then date of the registration of that land parcel, and other related information of that land. Okay, LIS can also be used for the development of special economic zone. In short, we call it as a SEZ. Special economic zone is a zone specially designed for different economic activities. It may include some industrial areas, it includes some factories, it includes some companies that works for the betterment, that works for the public welfare in that area. So the objective of land information system for developing a special economic zone is that it is helpful to enable the GIS for decision support system that will be used for the land acquisition and development, land identification, the land status, then calculation of the approximate land values, then monitoring the development status, monitoring of the land acquisition, spatial distribution of the land acquisition, and the development plans. So special economic zone is a kind of mechanism that includes or especially the economic activities. So a land information system provides the accurate information for the decision support system that is very much useful for the development of special economic zone when we are talking about uh, GIS based decision support system. For a special economic zone, we need to acquire some land, we need to go for some development. Okay, we need to identify the suitable land for the development. We should have the information about the land status, whether it is used for land use or it is under the land cover. Okay, we may have the ability, we may have the information of the land status, so we can use it for different industrial purpose, we can use it for different commercial purpose. Okay, we can calculate the approximate value of the land as per the market rate. We can also monitor the developmental activities, the status of the development. We can also monitor the land acquisition and its spatial distribution. We can also use it for monitoring the developmental plans. GIS, GIS or the GIS-based land information system can also be used for can also be used for the development of special economic zone in an area. So this is an example of special economic zone. It is a DLF special economic zone application. It is showing the thematic classification of different land use that is used for special economic zone. Okay, and here you can see by clicking on an individual land parcel, you will get the information about the owner of that land parcel. You can get the information about the land use of that land parcel, the cost of that land parcel. It may also have the extent and other information of the land parcel. So DLF SEZ is one of the example of land information system, how we can use land information system for the development of a special economic zone by integrating different thematic layers, by integrating different GIS layer into the single platform, that all information can be compiled, can be integrated over a website, so anyone can access the information of a specific land parcel, the owner, the price, the date of the registration of that land, and other land related information of that parcel. So this is an example uh, of the use of land information system in the development of a special economic zone. Okay, Department of Electronics and Information Technology of the Government of India, they are also having a National Center for Geoinformatics. It's a GIS-based decision support system that will be used to provide us the information about different activities. It may have urban land information system, it includes mining information system, it includes decision support system for archaeological department, the surveillance of malaria and different diseases across the country, digital India land resource management system. Then it is also useful for rural electrification system, decision support system for agriculture, the integrated watershed management system, decision support system for women and child welfare department, and decision support system for police department. So now Government of India established a National Center for Geoinformatics, that is a GIS based decision support system, or you can call it as a land information system that will be used by different organizations for different applications. It may be used for archaeological department, it may be used by the rural department, it may be used by agriculture department for managing and for managing and monitoring different land related information and land related activities. So this is the way in which we can use land information system for different applications, different uses. So it's all about the cadastral information, the land information system, and the users of land information system for different applications. So if you have any questions, if you have any queries, then you can ask, and the questions related to today's lecture is uploaded on LMS. You have to attempt the questions, that is multiple choice questions. You attempt it on the LMS related to today's lecture. If you have any query, then you can ask here. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.